good morning, ladies and gentlemen, young people, the future of farming here. My name's Tracey Roan. I probably don't need much of an introduction because seemingly 1.6 million people watched me on TV bend over and calf a cow. So you probably recognise me if I bend over more. So yeah, I feel very honoured and privileged to come and speak at this event. And when Sheena asked, I was like, I'm married into farming, like, you know, that could be a misfortune, I don't know, but I kind of feel I've cheated my way into it because agriculture was never actually a career I chose to do. Although I'm a dairy farmer's daughter, and I did feed calves and everything, it was never a career that was spoke about at high school to me. It was never one put forward, especially not a girl. And I was always adamant I would never marry a farmer. My mum told me not to marry a farmer, but what was I going to do? I married a dairy farmer. So yeah, agriculture wasn't something I thought about doing, but I did actually go to agriculture college. I actually went to SEC, well, what was SEC? Best 4 years of my life there. I actually got an honours degree from Glasgow University in Rural Recreation and Tourism Management. So that was one of the things I got. I got 3 things from there. I got an honours degree. And from my honours degree, I remember one of the key things my lecturer told me was how to run a successful tourism industry. You need a view, a brew and a loo. So that was the second thing. And the last thing I got was a husband. So that's the priority. So yeah, back to me. I'm a partner in Roan's Dairy. You probably saw that on the programme. Roan's Dairy is a new family venture for us. It's been running for 2 years. We basically brought back, well, we cut out the supermarket and brought milk straight to your door. So we pasteurise and bottle our own free-range milk from our own herd of cows and put it on the doorstep and sell it to trade. So that's one of my hats. I'm a bit a jack of all trades, master of none, because I do that. I very much do all the social media and sales side of things. But I also work full-time on the farm with my husband. We have a herd of 200 cows and I have 2 children who are very much free range as well, and feral, Andrew and Lucy, who you would have seen on the programme. So yeah, I'm a bit of jack of all trades, but that's the beauty of working in agriculture. You have many different hats. Right. Ooh. Sorry, my 8-year-old helped me do this. Right, so as you know, we featured on This Farming Life. Now, to me, I've been and watched myself, and that's it over and done with. But the power of IT is that it's still out on iPlayer, and people are still watching it, and I'm still getting spotted, which is a very surreal experience. But the beauty of This Farming Life, I think, I had to tell myself it wasn't aimed at farmers, it's aimed at you as the general public. And I think it did a great job of just showing you the dairy industry and what it's like and how lovely it is working in farming and agriculture. Yes, it's a hard way of life, but it's a very good way of life. And you know, as a family, I'm so proud of this wee chap. Here's my wee boy Andrew and his calf. So, great programme, and again I'll answer questions on that afterwards if you want to know if Hollywood have phoned me. No, they haven't. I'm still milking cows and doing all that. It might come. So yeah, and people will always ask me constantly, oh, how's life being a celebrity? You've been signing lots of autographs. I can tell you now, the only thing I sign is cow passports and cheques. Right, so when I was asked to do this, you know, this talk, I was like, well, I better ask myself the question, why work in agriculture? You know, why should any young person think about coming into agriculture? Because, I mean, let's face it, it's long hours, it is regarded as poor pay, it's sometimes difficult to get into unless you're born into it or if you marry into it. It can be dirty, it's physically hard work, it's back-breaking, sometimes it's smelly, it's not always for girls, you know, there's a lot of uncertainty. I mean, I'm not
selling it.
I know, but wait for it. You know, and you come away with farmers' hands, you get a farmer's tan. It's not a fashion parade. I mean, my wardrobe consists of how many feed companies I can represent in one day. You know, why go into it? Well, I can tell you why. In the next slide, I'll just tell you why. Well, why not? Because this is my office view. This is where I live and breathe. This is what I work for. Yes, granted, not everywhere looks like this, but I think Scotland does. I think the BBC did a great job of portraying just how lovely Scotland's countryside is. Yes, the BBC portrayed that it never rained in South West Scotland. I can tell you now it does. It's just the BBC don't like filming in when it rains. But this is my office view, and this picture is quite significant to me because this is what changed my career path. I was once a senior housing officer. I dealt with antisocial behaviour. I dealt with people that were complaining about their wheelie bin had been nicked. That was my day-to-day role, and I decided, nah, I don't want to do that. I want to come back to the farm and work full-time. And so to have that view is brilliant. You know, it really is spectacular. I really do enjoy it. It's, you know, I'm working with the cows. You know, cows are great co-workers, by the way. They're absolutely brilliant. Like, they might dung on you, but they're great listeners. You know, they are really, really good. They don't tell anybody your secrets. So yeah, we get to work in some of the most beautiful parts of the countryside, and remember, some of the jobs you get in the countryside, you get a house, you actually get to live in these areas, and you get a house provided for you. It's good for your health as well, you know. People who live in the countryside live longer. I mean, what's the average age of a farmer? Is it 60, 55? 58. 58, I mean, my goodness. So yeah, and again, there's quite a big focus on mental health now as well on that. I mean, yes, farming can be isolated, but to get to work out in that, it gives you quite a positive outlook in life. Well, I sometimes do. Working with your husband, that can sometimes affect your outlook, but never mind. So, yeah, the next question I thought, well, why not work in an industry that feeds the nation? Because let's face it, we're always going to have to eat, aren't we? Well, I do. I mean, yes, you're probably thinking, gosh, she's quite slim because the TV does add £5 onto you. But yes, I do eat. Long-term prospects of agriculture are good. Yes, we suffer painful downturns and pressures, you know, and there is uncertainty, but long-term signs are looking really good. But we need new entrants, we need new innovators, we need new blood to come in, we need to move forward and thrive and not just survive. We need new people like you coming in to make a difference. People like you are going to be the custodians of the countryside. You know, we shape the way the countryside looks, the environment, we help maintain it for future generations. So I'm very proud to be involved in that industry, and I'm very proud of the fact that I can produce high quality food. And again, there's this misconception that agricultural sector is just for people who want to run or work on a farm. Food produced in Britain is also the bedrock to a much bigger food and drink sector, and there's loads of different roles that you can play, which, you know, previous speakers have mentioned. You know, there's the agri supply chain from selling machinery, crop protections, animal feed. You just needed to go to AgriScot last week and see the vast variety of trade stands, just showing the different industries that you can be involved in. And just, you know, how diverse agriculture in Scotland is. So, just back to where I am on the farm, technology side, and this isn't not my passion, but it's really important to talk about how progressive the dairy industry is. Our cows are milked by robots, and there's actually a robot that pushes the silage in. You know, imagine that. I mean, things have just moved on so much in the last 20 years. It really is a high-tech business using the latest developments, and technology has changed rapidly over the last 20 years, and it will continue to change. And that's been driven by the need to reduce costs, increase output, in the face of a rising global population and response also to climate change. You can see here we actually have 2 farms and we use biomass boilers. Please don't ask me the size of the boilers. All I know is that I have constant heat in a really hot house. And we have wind turbines. So there's this other side of farming. It's not just about sitting in a tractor driving or in a forklift or you're milking cows. There's this whole other side of it. And again, you mentioned GPS, you know, and drones. You know, today I'm using apps on my phone to record medicines when I'm out working with the vet. There's just so much more to it nowadays than getting your hands dirty. And again, this growth in technology actually means there's opportunities for those with an interest in science and maths and engineering. Okay, this is where my real passion is, not for the chopper. I'm not really interested in machinery. Some of you will probably tell me what size of chopper that is. I couldn't care less. But my passion is very much, you know, the dairy side of it and the animals. From a young age, I always loved the animals. And again, no 2 days are the same with me. I can get up in the morning and think, right, today I'm going to do this, but something can happen. We're probably, you know, there's always going to be a problem, a challenge, but that's the beauty of working in agriculture. Some days I'll play the role as a midwife, other days I'll be, you know, feeding calves, and other days I'll be milking the cows. It's just so varied. I mean, my husband's passion, as you might have seen on This Farm in Life, he's got OCD, obsessive cow disorder. He's really passionate to showing cows. And again, my son started to follow that. And again, that's another thing to go into, is showing the pedigree cows, you know, and that's a science in itself, you know, the genetics are involved in that. You know, we do the silage ourselves as breakdowns. We actually employ full-time mechanics. We break down so much, because according to the BBC we do. So we have a full-time mechanic, so that's another side of agriculture and engineering. We have pigs, seasons change, so you know, we have lambing time, which is brilliant. Love being in the lambing shed. So if my husband can't find me, that's usually where I am. There's just such a variant thing to do. No 2 days the same, and that is what's so passionate. That's my passion in that. What are we doing at time? Oh, that's right. Quick. Now, this is just what I'll quickly say about the day I was a cover girl on a famous magazine. Isn't that a lovely calf? Yes, right, quickly. Every day is a learning day for me. I don't think I know it all, I don't. But this is a new network that's been set up specifically aimed at women, any age group. It's the Dairy Galway Dairy Network, and again, it's about encouraging, bridging, you know, the gap between the male and females. Great network, learning, hands-on experience, because I felt that I hadn't studied agriculture, but I didn't have the practical stuff, and I didn't want to learn from my husband. So this group was set up where you can learn calf signal training to bookkeeping skills. So again, every day is a learning day. It doesn't just happen for new entrants, it happens for anyone right throughout. So yes, great career choice for me. I made the right move, and it's a really exciting one to be part. So hopefully I've influenced some of you. I'm sorry for speaking really fast and getting verbal diarrhea. Okay, thank you.